Alright, here we go, back to another Ninjago ranking video. Today, I'll be ranking all of the weapons. This really includes, mainly all the collectibles. Now, some aren't included, like the Dragon Energy Cores in Season 1 of Dragon's Rising. Now, they are collectibles, but they aren't really weapons that the ninja could use, so, that won't really be included. I think the highest I have it added up to is the amulets, and even though they weren't really weapons, I still would decide to include them because of the power actually behind them. Now there is power behind the Dragon Energy cores, but maybe I should have added them. Maybe I'll add them in a future video. But yeah, without a further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we have the golden weapons. Those are a personal favorite of mine. They aren't my favorite weapon, but they are a personal favorite. And a little bit of Ninjago lore for those who didn't know. There's four golden weapons. The Sword of Fire, the Nunchucks of Lightning, the Shurikens of Ice, and the Scythe of Quakes. And basically, fire, ice, lightning, and earth, they're basically the four powers of creation. And the golden weapons, they were created by the first Spinjitzu master when he came to Ninjago. And he basically used these four weapons to basically create the whole realm and land of Ninjago. Well, the realm already existed. He just came, and when he came to Ninjago, it was called the Endless Sea. But he basically used it to create land and everything. And yeah, they're pretty cool. They have a huge significance throughout the show. And like if combined together, they get like this ginormous, enormous power. But they are a personal favorite of mine. So next up we have the Serpentine Staff, and these aren't really ninja weapons, but they were collectibles for Season 1, I believe, in the Lego sets. But basically, I believe that when combined, I don't even think they do anything when combined. But the Serpentine Staff, I'm just gonna say they're pretty average or below average because they weren't like your typical weapon. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. Okay, I should probably be more careful. But yeah, they aren't really your typical weapon. Um, yeah, there isn't really much else I can say about them. I mean, I do like the designs of the staff, but basically each Serpentine General has their own staff. But next up, my favorite weapons, I'm gonna say the Elemental Blade. Fire, Ice, Lightning, and Earth, when they first introduced, I absolutely love these in Season 2. And I love the Elemental Blades. These are actually them from their minifigure form. I couldn't find an image of them from the show. But yeah, the Elemental Blades, they're my favorite, probably favorite Ninjago weapons of all time. But next up, we have the Techno Blades. I'm gonna say they're pretty insane. These were from Season 3, and I hate on Season 3 a lot, but a lot of the stuff in the season was actually good. It's just that the story wasn't really that good. Them bringing the Overlord back was a terrible idea, but I already discussed that in another video, and I know I'm being redundant. There's really no need to repeat it. But the Technoblades, basically, for those who are unaware, they basically allow you to hack into anything technology related. Like, I remember the ninja were using the Technoblades to, like, hack into helicopters, into fighter jets, into a mech. Yeah, Cole used it to hack into a mech. Zane used it to hack into a helicopter, which I believe was called the Shuricopter or the Ice Copter. Kai used it to hack into a fighter jet. And I forgot what the name of it was in the season. Jay used it to hack into like the vehicle, like the tank looking. I forgot what the name of the vehicle was, but if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the Technoblades, they're pretty insane. I wish they stuck around in the show, but they didn't. But yeah, they're pretty cool weapons. Next up, we have the Jade Blades. I'm just gonna be honest, they're trash. They weren't really your typical weapon though. Basically, Season 4 Tournament of Elements. Like, I believe in the first challenge, if you collect all of the Jade Blade, no, you have to collect at least one Jade Blade in the first challenge, and basically you win. And then kind of like throughout the whole game, like if you collect the Jade Blade, then that basically means the other person who doesn't, they're out. And the Jade Blade, they kind of play like a huge role, but they didn't really play as huge of a role as the Staff of Elements. This is insane. Not a personal favorite of mine, but basically, I basically it had like this crystal that like whenever like someone blasts their power into it, basically absorbs their power, and it basically had every power in Ninjago at least up to season 4. Now powers it didn't include were water and wind because they were introduced in the next season, and it didn't have golden power because golden power didn't really exist at this point. And it also didn't have darkness or destruction or creation. Those aren't really powers, those are essences. And there's a lot more elemental powers after season 4, but it's just that the whole reason Chen needed these powers is because there was a spell which requires certain elemental powers. And yeah, I think that was pretty cool. Personal favorite arrow blades, I think they're pretty great. I mean, they only really serve one purpose, and that's just to like kill the ghost. They're the only thing that can fight the ghost. I explained it in another video, but for those who didn't see that, the arrow blades, they were formed, they were forged by deep stone at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, the ocean. Water's the only thing that can stop ghosts. So, yeah, they're pretty great. I don't think they're the best, but they're pretty cool. The realm crystal isn't necessarily your traditional weapon, though, because it's not really a weapon, it's just a crystal. It's more of an artifact. And maybe I should do a Ninjago artifact video, but I think that would be too hard because the only other artifact I can really think about is the Allied Armor of Azure, which is basically which Moro used back in season 5 to like possess Lloyd. Well, he didn't need it to possess Lloyd, but it actually he actually used that armor to free the ghost from the cursed realm. But I think it's insane. I think it's better than the Staff of Elements. There were basically like 16 or 17 realms in Ninjago. The realm crystal gives you the power to literally go to any realm. You could go to the underworld. You could go to the realm of madness. You could even go to Chima if you know you know. Yeah, I mean you can pretty much go to any realm in not in Ninjago, but like in any of the ethereal divide. Next up, the Sword of Sanctuary is my personal favorite. Granted, it doesn't really have any like super special ability, but in season 5, basically the Sword of Sanctuary, basically you can see your opponent's next move before they can even make it. I would love to have my own Sword of Sanctuary, not for combat though. I'm not out here fighting or anything, but it basically tells you what your opponent is going to do before they even do it. And I will put that above the golden weapons, but the golden weapons are so iconic. They've been in so many seasons. They've been in the pilot, season 1, season 2. They were sent off to space at the end of season 2, then they made an appearance in season 3. They weren't in season 4 or season 5 or season 6 or season 7 or 8 or 9, but they did return in 10. And I believe they returned later on in season 15, though season 15 is a terrible season. But they did get crystallized in season 15. I don't even think they should have returned the golden weapons because they didn't really do much. But yeah, that's pretty much my reasoning. Now the Gen Blade, as much as I hate on season 6, the Gen Blade or the Sword of Souls, basically after your opponent makes their 3 wishes, their soul gets sucked into the Sword of Souls or the Gen Blade, whatever you want to call it. But honestly, you don't even really need them to make the wishes to even just suck them into the Gen Blade, and their soul is basically trapped there with no way of getting out. And yeah, for that, I think it's a pretty great. I don't think it's like super insane. It's not like one of my favorites, but I do think it's insane. Now the next weapons, the Departed Blades, I'd say they're pretty average because the Day of the Departed, these are basically just ghostified versions of the villains' weapons. That's really all they are. They are really nothing else that's really that special, but they are ghost weapons, so yeah, that's pretty cool. The Time Blades, I love the Time Blades. Honestly, I think I love these more than the golden weapons. These are probably some of my favorite weapons of all time. Now I know I do have the elemental blades because they have to be up there. They have to be number 1, but the Time Blades, there were 4 Time Blades. The orange was for reversing, the green was for fast forward, blue was for slowing down, and red was for stopping time. And when combined together, they have enormous power. But there's 4 Time Blades, and yeah, this screen cap is actually from season 7, back during the flashback scene of young Garmadon and young Wu. Garmadon to the left, Wu to the right. And yeah, I love the Time Blades. All the hate season 7 gets, you gotta admit, the Time Blades are some pretty cool weapons. Next up, we have the Oni Mask. They're insane. I don't know if they're more insane than the Realm Crystal, just because the Realm Crystal has been in the show for so long. But I love the Oni mask. Now again, these aren't really weapons, but when you put these masks on, they give you extreme power. The red one, the Mask of Vengeance, basically allows its user to gain a second set of arms, which is what Mr. E used back in season 8. And boy, when he first put on that mask, like, that has to be one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in Ninjago. Like when the ninja are fighting Mr. E, back in the palace, the royal palace. I think that was the name of it. Like that has to be the best fight scene in Ninjago. But yeah. And then you have the purple mask, the Mask of Hatred. Basically makes turns the user to stone. Not really to stone, but it gives them like a higher jump power, like higher agility, more strength. It's pretty cool. And then we have the orange one, which is the Mask of Deception. Basically gives the user it basically gives them the force. Like if you have the Mask of Deception, you can basically use the force in Ninjago. So yeah, that's pretty cool. For that, I do want to say it's better than the Realm Crystal, but with the Realm Crystal, you can go to any realm you want to. So I mean, I think it's a good trade-off, but um, yeah, I think it's a pretty good trade-off. They are very, very insane. Although, granted, two of the Oni masks are destroyed, the Mask of Vengeance is the only one that survives. Now, the next one, it was the Dragon Bone Blade back in Season 9. Iron Baron used it, some of the other Dragon Hunters used it. But basically, when the four ninja were trapped in the Netherrealm, Kai, Cole, Jay, and Zane, and Wu, but Wu was a baby, and then he was a teenager. Basically, the Dragon Bone Blade, like, every time the ninjas tried to use their elemental powers against it, would basically deflect or absorb it. The ninja could not fight against the Dragon Bone Blade with their elemental powers, which was pretty funny. Other than that, I think it's a pretty average weapon. But, I mean, if you're using it against an elemental master, then it can be great. But, yeah, these are the last 4. I'm going to try to speed this one up. The Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu. This is a screen cap back when from Lloyd used it back in Season 11. And to be honest, the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu is basically Spinjitzu, but it's more powerful. It basically makes your powers like more evil. It's basically the evil version of Spinjitzu. Although I guess nowadays you could kind of argue that Shatter Spin is more destructive. And even though I don't have anything from Dragon's Rising on here, Shatter Spin is very, very destructive, but there's not really an artifact for it. I mean, there's the Bong of Shattering, or no, the Gong of Shattering. I think in the last video I called it the Bong of Shattering. No, it's the Gong of Shattering. I just could not get that word right. But yeah, the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu, I think it's pretty insane. Not really much else I can say about that, but yeah. The Kitanas, they were kind of used to get to the final level to fight Unagami. They were pretty trash. They didn't really do it. They were just more of a collectible in a video game. I can respect that, but yeah. The Ivory Blades of Deliverance, turns out they didn't really do anything. They had no special powers, but I like the designs of them. So I'm going to put them in average, because they are pretty cool, even though they shatter easily. Last but not least, we have the Wave Amulet. I'd say it's pretty great. Now, there is a Storm Amulet. I did not include it, but yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty great, because when combined together, you can release Wojira, and that's pretty cool. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will do more content like this in the future, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.